purpose. That red panel there to indicate to a correctional officer whether a door is open or closed. This would be of most importance to a correctional officer in that if they're putting a man back in the cell, the correctional officer's down here at the gang box, going through the motions to close that door. If you can still see red, then the door is not closed and the inmate can escape or get out of the cell. Now, before I close 3, 7, and 13, something for you to think about. Each of these cells. And when I open the door, please don't let anybody step inside. Well, listen, now you'll know why. Listen to this story. A ranger opened the door once for a visitor. The visitor steps inside. The ranger closes the door. The ranger can't get the door back open. And so the visitor got the real Alcatraz experience because he or she was in there for several hours waiting for somebody to come over to San Francisco to fix the problem. So that's why, as you saw me up there, I declined to open door 12 because sometimes door 12 works and sometimes it doesn't. All right, I had an uncle who was a correctional officer here. Uncle Ed, what a great man. I knew him very well. How stupid of me to not get more stories from him than I got. But he was actually a farmer from the state of Kansas in the middle of the country, and he took this job. This is the mid-1940s. He took the job and helped put food on the table. There's the lever. The selector lever, the clutch, the hammer, and this is a copy of the original operating instructions from the manufacturer. Now from this gang box, Uncle Ed can open one, some, or all the doors down to the cutoff here on the flats level. But how do you indicate which door or doors you want to open? You do that via the use of the first lever called the selector lever, and you use that in conjunction with the corner of the gang box is a gauge. And on that gauge are 13 numbers. Those 13 numbers correspond to the 13 doors from here to the cutoff. So Uncle Ed would have pressed this button on the selector lever and move that pointer up and down and point to which door or doors he wanted to open. In this case, I'm going to point to door number 1. That's the door I want to open. All right, the next thing I need to do is pull the second lever called the clutch. Now, if we pretend my arm is the top of any cell door here in the cell house, on top of that door is a flat piece of metal laying like this. It's attached to the door, and it's called the lock bar. For those who are down here, there's the lock bar down there. Now, I'm going to pull the clutch lever. And because door 1's been selected, and only door 1, this will cause the lock bar to rotate up above door 1. So I pull the clutch, the lock bar's up, that's up. The next thing I do is I pull the third lever, the hammer. And the hammer lever is attached to a bar that runs across the top of the cell doors, and on that bar are a couple pieces of metal hanging down like this called flippers. And so there's the flippers right there. So I'm going to pull the hammer. This will cause the flippers to travel down to and surround the lock bar. And you can see the motion in the plexiglass. So the flippers were here, now they're down there. And because the flippers surround the lock bar, the hammer is attached to the bar above the door, I pull the hammer and then hold the door open.